Our next pub is famous in royal circles. During the English Civil War, it played host to a daring escape by a future King of England.
King Charles House was built in 1577 by local brewer Richard Durrant and still retains its original timber-framed structure. Now standing on New Street, it cuts a striking contrast against the modern buildings that surround it. This is arguably Worcester's most famous pub, not just for its local history, but for its role in the survival of the English monarchy itself. Worcester was a staunchly royalist city during the Civil War, and in 1651, the future Charles II arrived from Scotland in a final attempt to reclaim the throne after the execution of his father, Charles I. The attempt failed at the Battle of Worcester. According to tradition, Charles used this inn as his headquarters, and when parliamentary forces closed in, he escaped through a rear exit, slipped through the city walls, and fled into exile. This marked the beginning of one of the most famous escapes in British history, including hiding in an oak tree, which is why so many pubs bear the name the Royal Oak. Charles eventually fled to mainland Europe, returning 9 years later as king. Over the centuries, King Charles House has served many purposes: a private residence, an antique shop, a judge's house, which I assume is just a fancier house, before finally becoming the historic pub and restaurant we see today. Originally, it occupied an L-shaped plot on the corner of Corn Market and New Street, typical of late Tudor buildings in Worcester. King Charles House, unsurprisingly, has gathered its own share of darker stories over the centuries. Visitors and staff have reported a young woman in a nightdress gliding along the second floor corridor. Her presence often noticed only after she's already gone. There's no sound of footsteps, no warning, just the brief sense that someone else was there with you. More unsettling still is a particular room that without explanation can become oppressively hot, not warm, but stifling. The temperature rises suddenly, as if the air itself has thickened. Local tradition links this to a fatal fire, the intense heat believed to echo the final moments of someone who burned to death within the building. There's no known trigger, no pattern, just the occasional uncomfortable reminder that not all history stays politely in the past. So if you ever find yourself breaking into a sweat here, don't be too quick to blame the weather. It's hard to think of another inn that's played such a direct role in English history, and for that alone, King Charles House more than earns its place on this list.